My name is Kyle Stiffarm. I'm Agricultural Ambassador for the USDA in conjunction with a cooperative agreement between the Fort Belknap Indian Community and the Office of Tribal Relations. So when we talk about the submarginal lands here at Fort Belknap, we're talking about a land base to the west of the reservation boundaries. It's a unique piece of land. It's bordered by BLM and state land, so there's a unique management strategy there. It's a very beautiful piece of land out there. It sits between the Bears Paw, Little Rockies Mountains, big wide open views, big grasslands and prairies, lots of wildlife. It's a very special place that, we want to do everything we can to create a long-term management scenario to sustain that land far into the future. NRCS plays a key role in tribal agricultural projects because the conservation technical assistance that we gain from their staff is key to us making solid science-based and sound decisions on whether it's water development, whether it's range management. They've got the technical assistance and the staff to help us find out what those goals are that we want to accomplish.
Last summer we did a range inventory, and so with this range inventory we're focused on plant productivity, composition, and rangeland health. And so through this inventory, tribal managers can better understand the current conditions, help implement livestock grazing practices that improve, protect, increase the utilization of agricultural land, and create management plans.
Initially, Kyle identified that he had concerns about plant productivity and health on some submarginal lands which border the reservation. They are tribally owned lands. He began working with some local NRCS personnel, and they realized it was going to be a big project, so they brought me into the loop and kind of put a team together, and working with Kyle and the tribal liaison. We decided it'd be a good opportunity to bring in some partners and some new employees and some others. Because of the amount of acreage we were going to have to cover to inventory the forage and the fences and the water, it made sense to put a team together and try to knock the project out in a shorter time frame. So we used that as an opportunity to bring in partners such as BLM, some of our soil survey crew, NRCS personnel, tribal representatives, some representatives from the Bureau of Indian Affairs. We all came together for a week and formed teams, went out, conducted forage inventories on the land. So we inventoried species composition, plant productivity, and other metrics such as bare ground and residue on the surface.
Some of the issues that need to be addressed here on the landscape of Fort Belknap are water quality and quantity, also grazing management and establishment of inventory of resources. With water quality and quantity, we're coming out of severe drought conditions, and a lot of the water quality and quantity relies on stock ponds and reservoirs in the area. So in drought conditions, those stock ponds and reservoirs, the water quality often becomes degraded, which becomes unusable for livestock. But also, like in those drought conditions, the water level becomes so low it causes issues for livestock getting stuck in the mud. With grazing management, there's a lot of old infrastructure that's in place. There's old boundary fences that no longer serve their purpose, cross fences that need to be installed for rotational grazing to better control the duration of grazing and better management of the range units here.
I think the biggest impact we've had with the range inventory is kind of giving us a science-based approach on how to manage our grass, our soil, and really give us a holistic view on what kind of water development that needs to be done. We could have taken another approach and just attacked it and gone after the water development, gone after some cross fencing, and then backtracked to see where we were at. I think we were very fortunate enough that leadership gave us the opportunity to lay some strong foundations, some strong groundwork so that we could take that data and take some of the knowledge that we have with these partnerships and put together a really solid plan to move forward over the next decade.
So the forage inventory that was done last summer, it was important to be conducted just to gain a better understanding of what's the resources that are out there. And coming out of these drought years, it's important for this forage inventory to be done just so we can have better management practices on the landscape, just being able to provide that technical feedback to the producers and ranchers, being able to establish these stocking rates for the Fort Belknap Indian community and just become better managers of the landscape.
But I also think the tribe has a lot of indigenous knowledge. You know, they've been managing the lands for far longer than we've been involved. So I also hope that we can glean information from tribal members on as it relates to rangeland management, prescribed burning, grazing management, all these things that they've been doing for many years. So I hope that we can glean some of that knowledge from the various tribes that we're working with and tribal members.
A long-term approach that we are taking right now here at Fort Belknap is sustainability. You know, we want our grasslands to stay healthy well into the future. You know, a lot of people talk about the 10-year cycles or maybe the 25-year cycles. You know, I think that maybe looking at this more of a 100-year cycle and figuring out what that long-term approach is, I think that's kind of the motivation behind the work we're trying to get done here.